The Detroit Lions are in the NFC Championship game. Let that sink in. We'll discuss Lions and 49ers next on DJ Football. It has been an amazing run in the NFC playoffs. 2 home wins for the Detroit Lions, something they have not done in a very long time. We'll talk Lions 49ers on DJ Football, NFC Championship game. Our preview presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round. When you sign on at MyBookie.ag, get that sign-on bonus. You can use it right away at MyBookie.ag. Win once with it. It is yours and yours forever. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. San Francisco, about a touchdown home favorite there at MyBookie.ag. What is up, DJ? Welcome to Championship Week. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It is the best weekend of football when you get these 2 games. There's so much on the line, so much at stake, and then I feel like the quality of play in this weekend is as good as there is the entire year.
Yeah, it's next level. There is no doubt, and we've got a couple of good matchups. We talk about the AFC Championship game, Baltimore and the Kansas City Chiefs in Baltimore. You can get that the same place you get this video at Disrupt the Media. Give us a thumbs up here, please, and make sure you subscribe to Disrupt the Media and set your alerts. Also, Brock Hewitt of Fox and Lance Taylor talking about those games, so you get plenty of coverage on the 2 championship games. Let's start with the road team, Detroit, DJ. 2 home wins. It's been emotional atmospheres. The fans have gotten behind them. It's been a great story. But now you hit the road to San Francisco, and it's just got a different feel once you leave the cozy confines of Ford Field.
Yeah, I think not only the location changes, but I mean, let's be honest, this is a step up in weight class here. When you go with what they've been able to get accomplished already in those first 2 games to now what they're getting ready to face on the road against San Francisco, particularly with that defense that Jared Goff's going to be very familiar with. But this is a defense that can just give you so much problems, not just because of that front. They've got those 4 first-round picks they roll through on that defensive line, but the second level of that defense it's a nightmare for someone who loves to live in the middle of the field like Jared Goff does.
And Goff obviously has been the thing that has made it go, but of late, the play of Jahmyr Gibbs, especially Sunday and the divisional round, he is just a different type of weapon. I mean, somewhat similar to McCaffrey on the other side. I mean, Gibbs and McCaffrey have some similarities, right?
Yeah, I think in terms of the versatility and the explosiveness, I give Christian obviously is a little more powerful and can handle a more of a workload there. So he'll be able to touch the ball, I think, more times, which is not a problem for Detroit because they have other guys that can put the ball in their belly and be fine. But I think the versatility of the weaponry there, I think that's comparable. The interesting thing to me is you add this kind of like triple threat here with the Lions. You have Gibbs, who can give you the big plays. And then I talked about the middle of the field. Laporta and St. Brown, I think they combined for 17 catches last week.
Yeah.
So that's it. They want to run the ball with Gibbs and hit some home runs, hopefully in the middle of the field, and they want to get the ball into the middle of the field. The problem is you're now going to be doing that into the Fred Warner territory, into the Dre Greenlaw territory. That's where the entire game is going to be played, and that's literally where the 49ers are at their best.
It caught him some penalties. I can remember at least one, but Tampa decided Amon-Ra St. Brown, we're just not going to give him a free release and let him run down the field. We are going to try to jam him at the line and get physical with him. As you said, he still had a good game. I don't know if that strategy worked, and I don't know if it's one that San Francisco would use anyway.
No, San Francisco is just going to rely on their eyes and their athleticism. So they're going to have all eyes on the quarterback, and then they play top down. They drive on everything, and they get their hands on balls, especially Warner. He's so long and so rangy. You try and influence him. A lot of things what Jared Goff wants to do is he wants to use his eyes and pull you one way, and then they're going to get runners behind you, get crossers in the middle of the field. Well, even if you can move Fred Warner a few feet with your eyes, he's so long, he can recover and make that play. He doesn't even see the receiver coming behind him because he's so rangy, he's so athletic, and he's instinctive. So I think this game, they're going to force them to have to work outside. I think Goff's going to have to get the ball down the field over the top on the outside, and that's not something that he traditionally loves doing.
Yeah, I believe, and I don't know what the numbers ended up, but I know at one point the vast majority of Green Bay's completions, I think, were outside the numbers. So
that's how they make you play.
Yeah, and Green Bay just went into that game accepting that, right? And while it may not be Detroit's comfort zone, they pretty much have to do the same thing.
I think so. And to me, I think that one of the things I would do in this game is I would get Laporta out wide and try and use him out there and try and find some matchups that you like out there. So they're going to have to be creative with what they do. They also need to, even though that offensive line is really good, they are going to have to move that launch point. Do not let Nick Bosa and company get comfortable of where Jared Goff's going to be. Move him around a little bit with some design boots and rollouts, and don't let them settle in that way.
San Francisco, a touchdown favorite. We'll talk more about the 49ers in 1 second. MyBookie.ag is where you can play that game. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie.ag. And we're giving you a nice little bonus here. MyBookie is with code Next Round. You sign in with code Next Round, they'll give you a bonus, and you can use it right away. Just their way of saying thank you for joining. You win once with it, it's yours forever. You don't have to win like 5, 6, 7 times. Tons of games there. You can play the parlays. You can do casino games. MyBookie.ag, code Next Round when you sign up for that bonus at mybookie.ag. Also, manscaped.com. This is the Handyman. It's a great portable travel razor. You can use it anywhere, though. You don't have to travel with it. It's great at home as well, as are all their products, including the new Lawnmower 5.0, the updated lawnmower, great for the entire body, including the undercarriage. They got the beard hedger. They got the weed whacker, takes care of the nose hair and the ear hair, so you don't look like some unkempt old man. They got great boxer shorts, male body products, all at manscaped.com. And because you're an avid viewer of DJ football, you get a great savings, 20% off your initial order, plus free shipping when you use code DJF20. Code DJF20 for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. All right, the homestanding 49ers, they got to like this. That's a tough place to play, man. When you go out there and play in Santa Clara, it's just one of those places, kind of like playing an Arrowhead of late. They're not going to lose a lot of games there.
No, and, last week was the gettable game. I mean, that was the 49ers who were not at their best, particularly offensively with some weather. Brock Purdy did not play well for 3.5 quarters, and when they needed it, he did. But that's what you need to do if you're going to win a championship. You got to survive the off game, and they survived the off game last week. I will be surprised if we don't see something much better from the 49ers offensively than what we saw last week.
I mean, not just Purdy struggling, but you lose Deebo Samuel pretty early in that game too.
Yeah, and that's where all the easy stuff comes from. Like, he makes life easy on the quarterback. But that being said, they still had guys open. The ball was floating and fluttering. And they talked about it on the broadcast, but there was a lot of pure drop back because they were down early in the game, and that's not what they do. That's not when they're at their best. They want to run the ball and work off play action. I thought, to be honest with you, that they would have got immense criticism if they lost that game because of Christian McCaffrey not getting more work. They didn't have an answer for him. They didn't stop Christian McCaffrey, and it felt like they were almost kind of trying to force the matter a little bit with Purdy, and you didn't need to. I thought they could have turned around and handed it off to McCaffrey and got out of there with a win.
Detroit's secondary has not been great, so I mean, I think that's got to give you a little bit of hope if you're hoping Purdy has a little bit of a better game. Probably, I mean, if you gave Shanahan the choice and said you could play that Green Bay secondary or the Detroit secondary, he would take the Detroit secondary, right?
Oh, I think so. Just from an experienced talent level, there's a couple decent pieces there in Detroit, but I mean, Baker, he had 350 or something like that last week. He just turned the ball over.
And the week before, Stafford,
he
had his way with them as well. So there's 2 games where they've given up a lot of chunks. They've been pretty good in the red zone. I mean, that's the one thing that has saved that Detroit defense.
Yeah, red zone against Stafford, and then the turnovers last week. So, I mean, that's one of the things that, Brock Purdy, look, I think that you'll have opportunities down the field, depending on Deebo being out there or not. You're still going to have matchups you like with Ayuk and Kittle out there. So they're going to score points. I don't anticipate that we see anything like we saw last week with the struggles for this offense. I think if Detroit's going to win this game, they are going to need to score, 30 plus. To get out of Candlestick with a win. I still call it Candlestick, by the way.
I don't know why. That's been leveled years ago. Yes, and not even in the same place. They didn't build it in the same place.
I remember being in there though for games, and that whole place just shaking. Like it was. It was a cool environment. Dumpy stadium, but a cool environment.
Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, not Candlestick, is where this game will be played.
Correct.
You mentioned Bosa on the other side.
Does Will Clark still play for the Giants, by the way?
Will Clark has long since retired. Rafael Palmeiro and Will Clark.
Dave Trevecchi's no longer there?
Nope.
Okay.
On the other side, Aiden Hutchinson. He's certainly not Bosa yet, but this guy has shown he could be one day. And that's a guy that they've got to account for, obviously.
Yeah, and he's got to generate turnovers. He's good at it. I mean, in terms of getting home, getting the ball out, even jumping up, batting a pass, picking off a pass. Like, it feels like for Detroit to win this game, they're a little overmatched, in my opinion. You're gonna need some turnovers, and that can come, with getting to the quarterback, getting the ball out of his hand, or even just jumping up in the air at 6'7", like Hutchinson is, and pop one up in the air and see if you can't corral an interception that way. But it feels like that's got to be part of the formula if Detroit's going to win this game. I don't see it. Everything goes as planned. Each team plays their A game. The 49ers win this game.
Yeah.
So you're going to need something extra, whether that's a special teams play with a fake, maybe that's a big return, that's a defensive, touchdown. They need something like that. And if you're going to say who's the most likely guy to get that done, I would say Hutchinson would probably be that guy.
All right, a 7-point favorite, San Francisco at home at mybookie.ag. You can play that game and any other game there at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Code next round to get that sign-on bonus. And also, manscaped.com. Don't forget code DJF20 at checkout at manscaped.com. Code DJF20 gets you 20% off your initial order and free shipping there at manscaped.com. We preview the AFC Championship game at this very same place at Disrupt the Media. Please set your alerts and subscribe and give us a thumbs up on this video at Disrupt the Media. He is the NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah, and this is DJ Football.
Hold on. Is the Boston Garden not here anymore either? What's going on?